Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to another game spotlight on the Direwolf20 channel. Today we're taking a look at an indie developed game called Fictorum. Fictorum is a game by a small development company called Scraping Bottom Games. I've been had my eye on this game for a little while now. A couple places the developer has been advertising it, just caught my eye, and I'm like, I want to check that out. So I reached out to him. He did hook me up with a free copy of the game, but there were no obligations to do a spotlight. He's just like, hey, if you like it, feel free to post a video on YouTube about it, but if you don't, it's cool. So no obligations, no financial exchange for this video spotlight. I just said, hey, this is a neat game. I like supporting indie developers, and I like trying to help them out where I can. So I want to show you guys this nifty game called Fictorum, which is currently available on Steam. So what is Fictorum? Well, let's get in and check it out. So Fictorum is a game about this really powerful mage who has a bunch of different spells and abilities, and the gameplay style is similar to and was sort of based on FTL, Faster Than Light. So if you guys have played FTL game, which is a spaceship game in a totally different genre, but it's the same style of play. Basically, you can play through and you get different spells and abilities based on what you choose. Let's maybe go through the tutorial real quick, just so you guys can see how the gameplay works. Then we'll go into starting a new game, and we'll see what like a start fresh looks like, or we can even hop into a previous game that I've been kind of playing through. So I've got another save slot out there that we can take a look at. So let's jump into the tutorial and see what's up. Cool. So if you go into the tutorial, you'll notice there's a pretty nifty ability or nifty setup in the game where you can kind of see they set it up so you can see all the different abilities here. So Q, hold, begin casting blink, release, complete cast. So you can see on the bottom of your toolbar, you've got Q, which is a special ability. There's another one on the right that'll unlock later in the game, and then 1 through 4 are your magic spells. So hitting Q, if you hold it, you'll kind of have this nifty little animation of where you're going to land, and when you release, boom, you blink. And it's on a couple second cooldown. Left mouse button will begin casting the currently highlighted spell, which in my case is this awesome explodey fireball spell. I'm going to shoot it at these nasty dudes who are coming at me. Cool. Casting spells costs mana. Maintaining a spell costs more mana. Run out and your spell will start draining your health, which is a bad thing, because those of you who played FTL know that when your ship took damage, it was hard to repair it. Well, the same is true in Fictorum. Getting health back is, like, difficult. You can, but it's not like super simple. So you really want to be careful with your health, and that's what it's telling you here. So let's pop over to here. Loot can be found in structures. Destroying a structure with loot inside will give you essence. So essence is kind of like a currency. And if we go look inside the house, we'll find there's nifty loot in here. We can look at what that loot is, determine if we like it. You can see currently equipped versus what this looks like. If you don't like it, you can shift-click it, and it'll destroy it, and it'll give you some magical essence, which can be used to trade at shops that you'll find throughout the game. You can also find some health potions. Like I said, it's rare, but you'll find them every now and then, and that will refill your health in case you've lost it. One of the cool things about Fictorum is many of the structures can be destroyed. Nice. And you get more powerful spells for more powerful destruction later on in the game. The other thing to note is that both you and enemies will take damage by falling structures. So if we stand near this thing, when it collapses, notice all that damage I took. So if you want to be spiffy and cool about stuff, you might lead some enemies near a house and then blow it up, and all the rubble falling will destroy a bunch of enemies at once. The other thing to note is these Sentinel Towers. So each stage that you're going to go through is going to have this Nexus thing. And the portal in the center will bring you back to the world map where you can proceed to the next stage. Sentinel Towers usually guard the Nexus and have it locked down. So you have to destroy Sentinel Towers in order to get out. Cool, right? Now the next thing to show you got is spell shaping. In your inventory here, you'll notice that there's Fireball Tome, which is what we've got, and there's also these modifiers that you can modify your spells with. In order to start spell shaping, you hold right click, and you'll notice you can shape it to high velocity, high explosive, and multi-shot. Each of these, incurs a little bit of a cost. So I'm going to do all 3 of them right now, and we'll notice that instead of a single fireball, when I hit left click, it shoots 3 fireballs, and there's a nice little bit of extra explosion there. Pretty cool. So you can kind of do that 1, 2, or 3. You can combine however much you want. So if we just want high explosive, I would do that. Right? And then boom. Sweet. We got a bigger explosion. If we wanted high velocity, we would do that. And the projectile would travel further. And as you might expect, as you explore the game, you're going to find more and more of these things that you can play with. Cool? Neato. And this is just giving you a little tutorial that if you want to reach this beacon all the way over here, there's no way to hit it with your normal spell. He's not going to reach all the way over there. But if we start shaping towards high velocity, notice the arc on my screen. It kind of went up as I did that. And now I can fire that fireball out there, and we hit it. Pretty cool, huh? Again, just to demonstrate, see the arc of where my fireball is going to be? If I move up, the arc kind of rises, and you can see where that projectile is going to land. Super cool. Now that we've destroyed all 3 of those towers, we can escape through the Nexus. And we would normally proceed to the next stage. So let's start an actual game that we can check out what this looks like when you're actually playing the game. So that was the little tutorial stage. So in the game, when you hit New Game, you'll find that there's a hardcore mode setting, which means when you're dead, you're dead. End the game, but allows for unlocking more titles. You can name yourself a character, you know, whatever you want. Starting title. So this is basically your starting inventory. So again, if I wanted to equate it to FTL, those of you who played that know that you can have different ships that you can start off in. In this case, you can start off with different sets of spells, right? So Firebrand, obviously, is a fire-based mage, a frost-based mage, or a tempest-based mage. You can see what inventory and how you can customize your character to get started up. And let's go with frost-based, because that sounds cool. So we'll start up the game. And you'll notice that there's a bunch of other ones. So basically, there's different other things that you can unlock will give you different starting sets, and you can play through the game multiple times with different sets of stuff that you start off with. But you'll also find a bunch of different spells and items throughout your playthrough. So this is the story. You can jump in, you can kind of read chapter 1 here, and you'll start off on these little islands. So the world is covered in this stuff called miasma, which is like pretty much like super toxic, and there's these little islands that are basically mountaintops where few populations of people live. From the mountaintop that you're on, you can travel to other mountaintops, and as you mouse over, you'll see that once you've been there, you can see where you can get to. And eventually you can find places that have vendors, like it says over there. Cool. So a couple different things that you can check out. Pretty nifty. And then eventually your goal is to get to the end of this map, and what you'll find is it'll start up a new map, and then you want to continue along. There's a handful of those, and then you'll reach an end boss. And if you defeat the end boss, you'll unlock a new character type, and that's kind of the game. So let's jump to one of these islands and see what's up. Whoosh. So you can read information. Despite the heavy rain, travel was easy that day. Incredibly, the townsfolk were friendly to Fictorum, and they offered him a place to rest. Cool. So if I wanted to, I could rest. Nice. That's cool. And that healed me. So had I had damage, it healed me. Probably didn't need to rest because I didn't have damage, but that's cool. We can travel to another island nearby. And the gist here is the more islands you stop at, the more likely you're going to find good loot, right? So you want to kind of stop at a lot of islands along the way to improve yourself, but also you have the potential to take damage. And healing is not easy. So your goal here is to kind of travel across the islands, but do so at an appropriate pace. Don't stop everywhere because you might, you know, wind up getting overwhelmed, but you're also going to want to stop. And there's also something else that will prevent you from stopping everywhere, which we'll see in a moment. So looks like we found a cave. So I'm going to enter the cave to see what secrets it held. And that's cool. So this was a random event. It might have been good, it might have been bad, but we found a nifty little relic. Cool. Spell leaves behind a trail on contact, damaging or hindering foes. So that looks like a modifier. So that right-click ability. So that's pretty cool. So we'll continue the story. So you'll notice not every island that you go through here will be actually like an engagement with enemies. Sometimes you'll just have like a little storyline to progress. Let's jump to this island and see what we get. Neat. You guys can read that there if you want. There's a town up ahead ran by a local chief. He used to be a kind man, however he's manipulated. So basically this is like a little quest. So I could have chosen to stop here or chosen not to. And since I've decided to do it, now we are on this little map and we can play through. So we're going to go running through here. So let's take a look at our abilities, right? So we've got this nifty Frost Spear, which does projectile frost damage. We have a ring, which gives you the Blink ability. That's your Q ability. And we have another ring over here, which gives you Telekinesis. Special channel ability constrains and lifts enemies. Well, that sounds cool. So your rings are what give you your E and Q ability. So we definitely want to check out nifty stuff here. Cool. And then for right-clicking, high velocity, pierce, and slow. Well, that sounds nifty. Nice. Looks like I, oh boy, got somebody's attention, didn't I?
Not enough mana.
Nice. Looks like I got an item off that corpse, by the way. And of course, oh, totally destroyed that building. Whoops. That's cool. I think I killed all the quest enemies, which is a good sign. And now you can go exploring the buildings, and you might want to find good stuff. Like here, there's a health potion. So had I taken damage, it would heal me a little bit, right? Looks like we killed most of the quest enemies, which is cool. Go looking around. This building was already destroyed, so you might have noticed a little icon appear above the building. If you would destroy a building that has loot in it, it will just give you the stuff that counts as money. So we got a little bit of this magical essence. We also got these nifty marvelous leather robes that seem like they're better than our current robes. So I'll click them on, and then I'll shift click my old robes. Oh no, you want to fight me? Yeah, no you don't. Yeah. Let's try slow. Oh, that is cool. Ouch. So see, I'm taking a little bit of damage here. Did you see that guy, like, totally freeze up? That is so cool. So let's proceed along this path and see what we get. Probably shouldn't have drank that health potion. I've only played this game a little bit, to be fair, but it was definitely cool enough that I wanted to kind of show you guys what's up. I haven't gotten very far, and I definitely haven't beaten the Lost Boss. But I did play, actually, a lot of FTL. Hey. Careful about shooting inside buildings. That could have been really bad for me. That was probably not a smart idea. Sneaky guy snuck up on me. So what did I get there, loot-wise? Chainmail boots. I'll just disenchant them. They don't sound useful to me. Alright, any more bad dudes to check out? Gotta watch out for bad guys and explore houses for loot. That's the basic gist of what you want to do here. Okay, so that building has nothing in it. I can destroy it. Alright, let's take out this tower. I'm gonna high velocity this guy. Sweet. I kind of like this ice character. I've played the fire one a little bit more. But this ice projectile is way faster than the fireball I've got on my fire character, which we'll take a look at. So now I've completed this stage, right? And what we're going to find... Cool. So you can tell me what items we got throughout it. Super cool. And we'll find that there's this yellow line following us. So the story behind the game, which I haven't gotten into too much, but you guys can totally read about if you want, is that there's enemies pursuing you. And if they catch up to you, it's bad. So every time you do something, that yellow line will get closer to you. So your goal is to get to the far right side of the stage before that yellow line of bad dudes catches up with you, and bad things happen. You'll also notice that you've got your inventory screen here, and then some settings. And if you want, you can stop for a rest where you're currently at. And that basically just makes you, let the Inquisition catch up to you a little bit more. So let's jump to the next stage here and see what's up. So you can see that Inquisition moved forward. Every time you move, they move. Cool. So it looks like we have an option to do something here. I'll choose option 1. You guys can kind of read what the story is. If I wanted to help this person, I could spend 5 essence, but I only have 3 essence, which is a bummer. So I can't really help him. So we'll move on. And you'll notice that the Inquisition has gained control of this location, so that's bad news. Let's move on to the next island and see what we can come up with. Cool. Looks like we've got another battle ahead of us. You'll notice sprinting obviously drains that green bar. Slow, pierce. Oh boy. These guys are amazing. They're a little bit nastier than me. Ow. Like I said, not perfect in this game yet. Ow, ow. Wow, there are a lot of mages here, aren't there? I want to try out this E ability. Oh wow. Ouch. Definitely a rough fight. Remember, holding your spellcasting ability when you don't have any mana starts to drain your health, which is bad times. Gotcha.
I need. I don't have enough mana.
Ow.
Not enough mana.
Ow. These guys are brutal. Take down that building. Yeah.
I need mana.
The destruction abilities in this game are pretty cool. Nice. Wrecked.
I don't have enough mana.
So I like Ice, but he's definitely a little bit tougher to play than the Fireball one, because the Fireball guy has like a little explodey area of effect, so if you don't like perfectly hit your target, you still wind up doing a little bit of damage. Looks like I might be in trouble here. I'm gonna let myself get killed. Quote unquote. And you'll see what happens, right? So if you want, you can rewrite history, and that'll pretty much like bring you back to where you were. So if you're not in hardcore mode, you can go and like kind of retry that level. It basically goes back to where you were. Neat. If you are in hardcore mode, once you're dead, you're dead. So let's go back to the main menu and take a look at my other save where I've progressed a little bit, and you guys can see what kind of a little further in the game looks like. So this is a Firebrand guy, so he's got some fire abilities. Let me get to a point where I can do some fighting. So I'm currently on the 2nd level. So I've completed an entire path and then started the 2nd level of the game, and I'm going to just jump to the point where I'm fighting a little bit. Looks like I found a good place to go fight. So you'll notice I obviously have more spells, more abilities. Like this spell here makes a mage that is like a... I forget what it's called. What's that ability called? Summon Decoy. So basically it's a decoy. It makes them attack that guy. Nice. And then they'll attack him instead of me. I've got a cool Fireball spell. Nice. I've got this Lightning Orb, which is cool. It's a slow-moving orb that zaps nearby enemies with lightning. I've got a Channeled Flamethrowing spell, and I've got a Lightning Strike spell. Nice. Pretty cool, right? So those are some of the spells. There's a bunch of different spells you can find. I have not found them all. Pretty cool, right? So like, let's go over here and shoot my Lightning Orb at this dude, and you'll notice that he's like zapping people for me. Nice, huh? Isn't that cool? I'm gonna give this guy some high velocity. And shoot it at those dudes. Haha! Pretty awesome. Let's try this flamethrower thing out. Nice.
Not enough mana.
I definitely like this ability, the Lightning Orb one, because like you just kind of shoot it in their general direction and it'll like zap them. It's a pretty powerful spell. And you can have multiples going on. Nice. And I'm getting loot from these guys too, obviously, as I kill them. So it looks like I got a few new spells. So I can only have 4 spells equipped at a time, as far as I know. Cool. And I think on this level it doesn't look like there's any towers guarding the Nexus thing. Nice, got him. Sweet. So you can see, again, a recap of the rewards we got from doing the event and the items we found throughout playing it. Pretty cool. So that's the gist of Fictorum. I definitely recommend you guys check it out. Like I said, it's an indie developer, so it's like I think it's only you know, a couple dudes working on the game, and it's been fun so far. I have been enjoying playing it. If you're into spellcasting games, and if you've played FTL and you know what I'm talking about, you'll probably get the gist of how the game works out pretty quickly. Oh, by the way, I have a glowing thing under me because I have some kind of buff installed. Somewhere. Oh, there's an enchanting system, by the way, which I haven't talked about yet. You're going to want to check that out. But, like, basically you can enchant items with different abilities and stuff. And as you can see here, I've got a bunch of different modifiers. So if you want to, you know, customize the different modifiers available for your different spells, you can totally do that. Like, for example, this guy, I've only got the high velocity modifier equipped right now, but I think I can add high explosive. Does that let me... Nice. That's cool. And stun. Sweet. So now I can modify this thing with stun and high explosive. Well, that sounds awesome. Super cool. So yeah, there's definitely aspects of the game that I haven't covered yet, but the gist you guys should get, and it's like I said, a pretty fun game. Let's put high explosive, multi-shot, and high velocity on this dude. Kaboom! Blowing up buildings does not get old. It is fun. It is a cool little ability there. Are you a bad guy? I don't know. I can't tell. I think I have an aura that like sets dudes on fire near me, so I think I just made somebody upset. Oh, here comes a bunch of bad dudes. Stun, high explosive, high velocity, go! Oh boy. Ouch. There's a lot of bad dudes here. Let's get some high explosive. Drop down my decoy while I regenerate a little bit of mana.
I can't use that right now. I don't have enough mana.
Let's see if I can distract this dude.
Not enough mana.
Nice. Zap. 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 I survived, but I took a lot of health damage. That was a lot of bad dudes. Alright, so that's the wrap-up of the game Spotlight. Definitely recommend you guys check it out. Like I said, it's fun. So for now, Darwell20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed this game Spotlight, and let me know if you guys would like to see more of these in the future. Alright guys, for now, take it easy.